That was the idea I had. Is it would be kind of interesting to do playthroughs of all the Kirby games, but also it wouldn't be because they're all the fucking same game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you want to talk about Sonic double standards? I know you do. When it comes to Sonic, everyone's like, Green Hill Zone again? Sega's running out of ideas. And then Kirby.
And then Kirby.
Oh, they're doing fucking...
That tree.
Green Greens again, with Wispy Woods as the final boss again of that level. Yay!
Yay!
Fuck you. The first level of every single fucking Kirby game is Green Greens. No one says shit. So picking back up where we left off.
No time has passed. This is the instant after.
Release the true power. Who do we know in the series who's obsessed with power? It's like there's trigger words in these games. It's like everyone has a catchphrase. But Dante's
is bounce pass.
Dante's is pizza.
You know, character motifs and whatnot.
By your hands, you cannot break our clasp. That power lies in another's grasp. Nero can't break these combat adjudicators. And they're red. I wonder what that means. Huh. Yeah, Nero.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Thank God.
Look, he's like so mad. He like really thought that would work.
Oh, shit.
He's like really upset. And then he turns around like, what's your plan, Nero? Thank God these fucking sewer sharks. Look at these street sharks. He just does that. Every enemy, that's like his answer.
Don't be slow.
Move fast, baby, don't be slow.
Do me that.
Come here. 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 There we go.
Dead.
This is the easiest attack to do max exceed with. You're dead. I hope you enjoy what my father is giving you. What?
Weird thing to say.
No, tell me it's a weird thing to say. Just do it. God damn it. I hate enemies where it's like, oh, you can't attack me. You can't attack me right now. I'm doing a thing where you can't attack me. That's not necessarily what these enemies are, but it still bothers me.
But it's an unrelated point.
Yeah! I love all of the enemies in this game have a unique like buster attack, wherein you hit them, bam, a unique buster animation. Every single one,
Buster's Malbrain?
including the bosses. Like we did one against Vergil, and we did one
I really
against.
like that name.
Yeah, isn't it so great? Mundus had a kid, and he named it Vergil.
That was a weird christening.
Also, why the fuck does Mundus's kid look like a Tor? Like a weird demon centaur thing. Lion centaur. A demon lion Tor. Mundus was like a pile of eyeballs that, like, dressed himself up like a god angel.
Because everything in Capcom is a pile of eyeballs.
So, here's the worst part of the video game. Dad. So hey, look, it's the worst thing. It is the worst thing.
Oh no.
It is the worst thing.
Burn me, Cracker Belgium.
Can you hand me a stick of chewables? Look at this. I want you to look at this, and I want you to feel in your heart what this is. You know so strongly right away that this is the worst thing. Look at how long it is. God damn it. It is so bad. So this is the first of many things where you're like, oh, they had like a year to make this game. Not quite as bad as DMC2.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, here, you have 2 months to finish this game. And it's like, okay, they had like a year, and then it was like rushed. This is, again, that conversation of the difference between Japanese games that are unfinished and Western games that are unfinished. Because up until this point, you wouldn't have known this game was unfinished. Nero is a fun character to play. He's a brand new character with a brand new moveset that's fully fleshed out and fully thought out and has all this depth and extra mechanics built into it that's completely fucking different from Dante, a character that they have 3 other games worth of history to build off of. They can just literally bring all of the mechanics Dante has had in from the old games and use them in this game. Nero's brand new, they had to create him from scratch. And you would have, you'd just be like, yeah! And then you get to this point and it's like, oh no. Oh no. They didn't finish the game. Whereas, like, with a Western developer, if they made a game that was unfinished, you would see that in, like, how the game controls.
Yeah.
You would see that in, like, parts of the game that are the game. And not necessarily, oh god, how do we cram $60 worth of game into this game? And it's so fucking bad. So it's not at, like, once you learn the secret, with your devilish touch, unknown fate the die will weave. So, this is bad if you don't know the secret, because if you don't know the secret, you just go, you hit the dice until it stops spinning, and you hope it lands on a good number, right? You're like, okay, let's roll that dice, literally. Chess. Put some Vaseline on your chest. But then you realize, oh, you just have to look at what the number on the top is and use your Devil Bringer. If you hit it with your Devil Bringer, it will land on the number that is on top every single fucking time. It landed on 3 because I wanted it to land on 3, but I forgot I wasn't paying enough attention to what 3 would make it land on. So that wasn't the dice, that was me. Yeah, so this is like one of the parts of the game where it's like, oh my god, why? Why did they do this? I think someone made a joke where it's like, it's the stupidest, like, gameplay minigame thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Well, I land on 6. 6. Bam. Gonna land on 6. Bam. Bam. And someone was like, maybe it was understandable if it was an idea one of the designer's girlfriends had and he just put it into the game in order to placate her, and it was just a one-off thing. But then it's like, no, this happens like 4 more times in the game, and it's so fucking annoying. Like, it's so, like, the worst fucking padding that you could ever have in a video game. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I feel like it's Frost. These are enemies that were in DMC 1. Isn't that funny? That they brought them back in this game? I think that's kind of weird. These are the enemies that their ice blades are below Sub-Zero.
Whatever that's supposed to mean.
They're not, what was it? Below, yeah, it's below absolute zero.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't slice at absolute zero, it's below absolute zero.
Literally doesn't make sense.
Because doesn't Absolute Zero mean, like,
That's the coldest it
time
can
isn't
get.
moving anymore or something like
Means
that?
none of the atoms of whatever's being measured are moving, which is the coldest a thing can get.
It's like the
So you
end of
can't
time
go-
or something weird like that.
Can't be below That's why it's called Absolute Zero.
No, below Absolute Zero. Negative temperatures of coldness. That's just the kind of mind we're dealing with. Someone who looks at Absolute Zero and says that's just
Lower.
not cold enough.
For my iced tea.
None of the atoms are moving.
But no, colder than that.
Colder!
You literally can't.
That is physiologically impossible in ways I cannot even begin to determine. Look at this containment room. Let's jump on this. I don't know what this is supposed to be. What is a sword? What is this meant to contain?
Well, Batman doesn't trust anyone with it can give like unlimited power to Gotham, but Batman does not trust anyone.
Oh, yeah.
Not even himself, so he's gonna flood it.
This nuke can power the entirety of the eastern seaboard. It's unlimited clean energy.
So he's gonna have fucking
Hey, look! Where have we seen that before? It's the Yamato. And it's broken in half. Isn't that fucked up? When did that happen? Because Vergil had it with him at the end of DMC3 when he went to fight Mundus. When the fuck did the Yamato get broken in half?
Just as I'd expected.
and then it turns out the chick that he was showing it to. I won't spoil it.
An Agnus.
Angus?
Working in secrecy. Very few are privy
You are
to my
a
existence.
filler character in a Disney movie material like crazy. Just something about the way you're designed.
What's your
I do not appreciate your potty mouth.
just as foul mouth as I heard?
Literally. Literally potty mouth.
The new ones concerning your demise.
Don't you think that's a little harsh? Killing me because of the way I talk?
Nero's such a cunt. Like, he's an asshole.
It's a fucking genetic condition, dude.
Isn't stuttering, like, painful?
Well,
Like, does it hurt?
I don't think it physically hurts, but it must be really frustrating.
Yeah, I bet.
This is all created.
I just wasn't sure if it was like a physical thing.
I don't think so.
It was
But then again, I also don't do it. I don't really know.
I don't think there's enough literature out there about stuttering as a condition.
You mean the man that killed His Holiness? What the hell's going on here?
Why do you know him? Why do you know who he is? Why did no one tell me? I didn't get a briefing. Dead.
I beg to differ.
Rub my nose. Like Nero,
Flick my nose like Sonic.
like he thinks he's cool. Like that's the difference. Dante's a fucking dweeb, but he doesn't give a shit. He's just like, I think it's funny.
Fuck you.
This is something that amuses me, and therefore I'm going to do it. But Nero thinks he's cool. And like that's the thing, like Dante is a surfer boy. He's Sanic. Shadow is like an edgy, stoic douchebag dude, but like that's a different kind of a cool guy.
Yeah.
Dante's cool because he just don't give a shit. And that's cool. And he's like a dorky asshole, but he owns it. And that's something that we admire in our society. But Nero's just a punk asshole. He's just a fucking douchebag. Like, again, he's totally the guy who goes, I could rather live 30 years like me than 60 like you. That's why it's like, for some reason Capcom's going through like this weird thing where they want everyone to swear. But
that's so weird.
Nero is the only one where it's like, that's totally in character for Nero to like, have a potty mouth. And say, like, damn and shit and fuck.
Damn,
if anyone's
fuck.
gonna drop an F-bomb in the Devil May Cry universe, it's Nero. That is totally what he would do.
That's the much power.
Yeah, the arm.
How can
Yeah.
it be?
Look who's talking, jackass. Answer my question. What the hell's going on here?
So here's the weird part, where you're trying to intimidate someone, but he's too busy getting a boner over your weird demon arm. So
Yeah,
now
this
Nero's
is
like,
weird.
oh shit, no, hey, weird,
Hey,
no, get away.
This is like that episode of Star Trek,
Yeah.
The Next Gen.
Which one? They're all pretty sexual.
All of them are very gay and very sexual.
Like, get away
that-
from... You are making me uncomfortable.
Isolate and bind demonic
Please.
power. It could enable us to conquer the world.
The point where members of your church are like, we can conquer the world, is the point you should start becoming concerned.
Yeah,
And you may
that's
as
where
well
you've
face the efforts by
crossed over into Coltville then.
But it's holiness.
I'll buy it.
Our Pope got shot in the face, but now he's been revived by totally not evil demon energy that we've been extracting in this totally not evil Resident Evil lab.
You know.
Oh, hey, look!
Oh no, the steam
The
pipe.
family tradition of getting impaled.
And being cool with it.
And it's fine, don't worry about it.
But just a small fraction of my research.
Has Vergil ever been impaled? I'm sure he must have been at
I
least
mean, we
once.
just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mundus impaled him.
Armor stands.
So, it's, I mentioned that, but, it's mentioned that these enemies are made from, like, fragments
pieces.
of the armor from Nello Angelo. And then there's Yamato right there in the middle of the room that he's studying it and being like, yo, the Yamato.
summoning.
So, very into Vergil, these guys.
If you know what I mean.
The Hellgate, the monolith. Also, are we just not going to talk about how Nero got impaled?
Yeah, we're glossing over that.
An extremely powerful devil's arm. It proves sufficient.
So they're talking about how the bosses are able to come through the Hellgates. Is they use devil arms, aka the weapons that Dante uses, in order to, like, open them up. And again, in order to, like, open them up. And it's like, why is the church opening up devil Hellgates and letting massive evil demons through?
Subject
Trying to find the mark.
experimentation.
It's very Dead Space. There's too much. That sword covers too much
Organ.
surface area. And again, he's just fine with it.
Yeah. Fine.
That's always a really good, like, act of defiance, is spitting blood on someone. His clothes are completely unharmed.
I've sustained a serious injury to my sleeve.
Him out.
And then here's the moment. Take a shot.
Yep.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
Leon!
So here's the actual moment, though. Listen to the music that's playing right now. And he's just suddenly turned into a bug demon. by the way.
Oh, okay.
Just because.
He's adorable.
Let's not talk about that. Yeah, he's a moth. I kind of like that. Oh no! Who's that? Who does that look like?
How? Not even I could succeed in restoring it.
So this is the moment where you're like, oh, he's Vergil's kid.
Oh.
Oh, Nero's Vergil's son. Okay.
Oh, he boinked.
When did Vergil get laid?
Was this before or after?
When would he have had the opportunity?
To snag some puss.
Like, it must have been before DMC 3.
Yeah, it was a long gestation period here. But then again,
I mean, Nero's
Nero's
clearly
like
like
20 something.
yeah,
years
he's
old.
maybe, I would say, like 18 to 20 right
Yeah.
now. It's Japan, so he's
Yeah.
probably actually like 16.
15. Yeah.
Yeah. Look
Everyone
at
in the
those
world's
2
15.
fucking rings. That bothers me so much. You're such a dweeb.
It's one of those rings that's a watch. I hated those.
So that's the secret. That's what the Devil Bringer is his arm is devil triggered. Like, all the time. Like, you know how Dante and Vergil can just, like, turn it on and turn it off?
Headquarters.
But,
His is stuck on shop
yeah,
demo.
Nero's is, like, 10% of his body is DT'd 100% of the time.
DTF.
It unleashes the latent power within Nero. The Yamato, Vergil's sword, and now Nero's using it because he's for years. Again, this game came out 10 years ago. People were almost immediately going like, "Oh, Nero's Vergil's kid."
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious,
Yeah.
based entirely off of that cutscene, that it's like. That's just what's going on.
Yeah.
His arm is devil triggered.
There weren't interpretations, they just said,
Yeah.
hey.
But like Nero in this game doesn't get a real devil trigger in the way that that Dante and Vergil do. Instead, this is the moment where we unlocked Nero's DT, which is you press the devil trigger button, boom, and now we're
Boom.
JoJo. Now we
Got
have
a
some.
motherfucking joke.
We have someone to stand, and instead of his body becoming demonic and doing more damage and stuff, instead, he is possessed by the soul of Vergil. And Vergil's ghost, using Yamato, does an extra attack on enemies. So every time you hit someone, you're actually hitting them twice, because of the Vergil spirit within. Which is really interesting. It's a different... Like, it's still a devil trigger, but it's not. Because Nero's not tapping into his demonic blood. Like, Nero hasn't awakened. Like, Devil May Cry 3 was Dante's awakening. It had that moment where where Vergil... It's getting really hard. It's getting really hard, okay? Where Vergil stabbed him, and then he woke up to his demonic heritage and could trigger his devil trigger. Vergil had that moment in his backstory where when Eva was getting killed by demons, Vergil was outside, like, playing, and Dante was inside with his mom. So Eva, like, hid Dante and was like, just don't die. Do a good job of not dying. Vergil was outside, so he kind of had nothing to do but, like, try and fight, and he got super owned. He was outside and tried to fight them off with the Yamato, but he fucking failed and got impaled. He did get impaled. He got impaled, like, into a gravestone or something like that, and that's when he woke up to...
Ooh.
Yeah, isn't that fucked up?
Ooh.
And that's when he woke up to his demonic heritage and triggered his devil trigger.
I mean, if something's gonna do it, that's a thing.
I guess getting impaled is what does it.
And not dying, being
Yeah.
able to stand up through it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm obviously not human.
And
And devils exist in
Yeah,
this world,
yeah.
so...
It's like accepting your demonic heritage. So that's so that cutscene that just played, where it like did a weird all black screen flashback to like apparently, and I don't know if it's ever been explicitly shown in any media in any like story, But apparently, like, there was a time where Kyrie was being attacked by demons, as she is wont to do.
Obviously.
And Nero partially awoke, because it wasn't him being attacked, it was Kyrie, whereas all the other instances of waking up to your devil trigger that we've seen have been waking up because your own personal life is at stake. Whereas Nero partially devil triggered to protect Kyrie, so only his arm devil triggered, and now he can't turn it off. So I don't really get it with that one.
It must make masturbation weird.
They totally, like, there's... DMC5 totally makes sex jokes in regards to the arm. It's really funny. That's the weird thing, is it must have happened recently. Because he's still, like, hiding it from people. And at the beginning of the game, his arm was in a sling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't seem to be aware of it yet. So it's, apparently that must have happened recently.
And let me roll down this one sleeve. And no,
Yeah. So, really, like, Nero's devil trigger in this game is not really a devil trigger. It's Vergil, his spirit, possessing Nero and, like, giving him the power. Because it's like, boom, we're devil triggered. And using the devil trigger gives you new buster animations, too, which I'm really gonna fucking... God damn it.
Deadly.
So that's the normal grab for those enemies. You hit the devil trigger. Oh, you couldn't really tell because we're against the wall. So the normal one is he grabs them and they just go. The devil trigger animation is he grabs them and goes with them. Like every enemy has a different buster animation where you grab them. You fucking assholes.
Oh.
It's like, oh, he just goes. Whereas the devil trigger version is you grab them and you write it in. And again, every move now has an extra, like, attack added to it. And also, if you shoot dudes while using the devil trigger... The time has come, so have I. If you shoot dudes while using the devil trigger, Vergil will throw out the swords, which is what he used. Like, that's his projectile weapon, so you're getting, like, an extra projectile at the same time as well.
Yeah.
And I believe, like... No, damn it! Fuck you. Yeah, so it's not really Nero's actual power. He's, like, using Vergil's power when he devil triggers him.
Borrowing it.
Yeah. It's not really... He hasn't really awoken yet. He doesn't...
Hashtag woke.
It's implied, like, he doesn't even know that he's part demon. Like...
Until Heritage Day, where he takes those 23andMe tests. And...
Vergil and Dante are half demon. Nero is a quarter demon. Which implies that it's sort of like a... Well, not in this game, it's not. Because in this game, Nero's still just a shit baby. Like, he's basically...
Don't enjoy that.
He's still just a normal dude, basically, in this game. Like... He's not a super fucking outrageous dominant beast like fucking Dante is.
In bed.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. If I want him to roll over me like a freight train, he would.